welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be reacting to Charlie Kirk, the ultimate DEI debate. These are what I'm really good at. DEI debates, critical race theory, you name it. I got it. Anyways though, y'all, I'll be fair. Like, I'm always fair with these kind of conversations. Like, so I'm going to be really fair in this conversation, whatever he says, if I feel like it's right, because there's truth to some of the things that are wrong with critical race theory that the right is saying. But there's also some bullshit that the right is saying about critical race theory, and I think that everybody should just read the theory and understand the theory for yourself. And let's pick between what we feel like is right and what we feel like is not. But anyways, let's hop right into it. No time to waste. Let's go. Granted, before we go, I don't know everything about critical race theory. I know specific things about critical race theory. Don't know everything. So, but I know a good amount to be able to like have this type of conversation. So, let's go.
The Last Rodeo, Angel Studios' newest family blockbuster starring Neil McDonough.
Sorry, Charlie.
That's The Last Rodeo, only in theaters.
Just for context, I'm open to learning and being informed, but I do believe we have a disagreement when it comes to DEI. You think it stands for didn't earn it.
No, DEI.
Essentially that
My bad, y'all.
colleges are dropping the bar, but I think they're just opening the door. So for example, a recent Harvard analysis by Top Economics found that students from the wealthiest 1% of families are 13 times more likely to score in the 1300 plus range for the SAT than students from the poorest families. And I don't think that's because rich kids are 13 times smarter, but it's because they have access to better schools, private tutors, test prep, everything, right? And according to the University of California, they show that family background accounts for 40% of the variance in SAT/ACT scores among UC applicants. I would also like to mention that the Diversity in Society's Leaders, the Casual Effects of Admission by Highly Selective Private Colleges, a study shown by the National Bureau of Economic Research, that I think that if you think it's based on race, at times I think it's based on wealth. So legacy applicants, children of donors, and recruited athletes were significantly more likely to be admitted than other students with the same academic credentials. So yeah, these schools like Harvard, legacy students are about 5 to 6 times more likely to be admitted than non-legacy students with similar SAT scores. Roughly 43% of white students admitted to Harvard from 2000 to 2015 fell into one of the 4 categories, right? Legacy athletes, dean's interest lists, or children of faculty or staff. 3/4 of these ALDC admits, 75%, would not have been admitted if evaluated only on academic credentials. My question is, I guess, do you believe that DEI could possibly not stand for diversity, equity, didn't earn it, but can stand for actual diversity, that diversity of abilities? When you go into a job or to a school, they don't just ask for your SAT score. They ask what kind of clubs you were into. They ask you to submit an essay. They are a holistic academic review. So why do you think it means didn't earn it? If maybe they got a less SAT score, but them as a person are just more well-rounded than the person who had all these tutors but did nothing outside of it.
He's gonna hone in on the fact that she said the less SAT score, but I want you guys to know something, because this is the ultimate part of DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion programs, right? Most of the time, that's not the case. They're just as qualified, but what she was reading was basic information about how people are getting hired. And DEI is diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. It is not just about race, first things first. It's about veterans, it's about old people, homeless people, people who come from poverty-stricken backgrounds, having the ability to be able to get into these schools and be able to like compete on the on those top levels. But the majority of people that are picked from diversity, equity, I don't even think diversity, like the majority of people are picked, if they went through these programs, if they went through that program, are as qualified as somebody who didn't go through the program. They went through the same education. Like, I don't know. I just want to make that clear before he starts talking.
What yeah. Tell me about, do you know anything about the Students for Fair Admission case, the Supreme Court case at Harvard?
I would love to hear.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna let him go, but he's so sneaky because I know where he's gonna go with this. But let's let him go.
Yeah. So basically at Harvard, Asian and white students, they basically got 200 to 400 points knocked off of their score versus black and Hispanic students. So it was disenfranchising white and Asian students. So if you support DEI, let's say you're in charge. Do you think that we should have all test scores be weighed the same? Or do you think that certain ethnic groups should get certain points because of their race?
I believe that we should acknowledge the fact that certain students have a different starting point, and I would love to give everybody the opportunity to
So how many points should a black student get over a...
Exactly. No, you completely overlooked her point. Some people should have, okay, because of the starting point, whether white or black, because diversity, equity, inclusion program is not just talking about black. It's talking about everybody across the board who doesn't have the same opportunity as a kid who has the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? From being born into a wealthy family or being born into an alumni group, you know, something like that. Giving everybody the opportunity. Everyone, including veterans, homeless people, and women, white women. Stick to white people. Like we can stay on white people on this just to make sure it's not a whole conversation about black people. But let's go. She's really nervous too.
White student in admissions.
I think that SAT scores and points shouldn't be the only thing referenced.
You have to answer the question because the status quo.
But it's not that black and white.
It is. So it is because that's why affirmative action was struck down by the Supreme Court.
We're not talking about affirmative action. We're talking about DEI.
DEI is an outgrowth. Affirmative action is an outgrowth of DEI and vice versa. But let me give you another example of DEI. Do you think if I say to a group, let's say of Hispanic and black people, if I say you people, is that a microaggression?
Say that again, I'm so sorry.
If I was talking to a group of Hispanic or black people and I happen to say you people, is that a microaggression?
I would think so, yes.
Okay, I think that's insane.
Why?
Because it's not a microaggression or racism to call any group of people you people. That's DEI in practice. So you guys might know about the group of clowns in the circus group of the Dean on F America thing. They fell apart in 1 week because one black woman called Dean and Parker racist because they were associated with a woman who called a group of black women you people, and they said you did not recognize microaggression. That's DEI in practice, where you could lose your entire job and your career for one misstatement. And you just showed it to me. Like, you think that's a microaggression to say you people to a group of Hispanic and black people? We should not be policing the speech of people. Instead, we should be caring about one thing, and that's merit and merit only when we put together our institution.
But if you base it on meritocracy, like I said, you're initially bringing in wealthy people who have these tutors but aren't well-rounded.
So what? That doesn't mean anything. Yes, the degree of how good...
Anybody poor who doesn't have access to the same type of things should have a problem with what he just said. So what? So wealthier people, because they have more money, this is how they divide us. This is truly how they divide us, guys. Just think about it. Wealthier people, because they have more money, should have more opportunities than everybody else. Even though we live in a country where we're supposed to be able to build ourselves up and become very successful. Now, granted, they do have more... Okay, I'm on the fence with this. Because they probably should, because they have more money. But at the same time, it's like everybody should have an opportunity to be able to go to wherever they need to go to get whatever kind of education they need. Because then you make more people qualified to be able to do the jobs that we have. I don't know. Let's just keep going, y'all.
Good your parents are matter. Yes. If you have good parents, you get something that people with bad parents don't get. That's applicable beyond college.
But with the people who score higher, let's say they didn't do anything, they are less likely to be able to take on challenges than the people who... Why wouldn't it matter?
Because inherently you are penalizing those with good parents. The only way you can make this work...
You're not penalizing
Yes, you are.
them. No, you're not excluding them.
Not true. It is the only way. We see this. In order to elevate equity, you must compromise excellence. And that's fine if that's your position. Because there's only so many spots, there's only so many places. And if you have a lot of qualified people, and you want to try to get not as qualified people, you have to prevent the qualified people and elevate the unqualified people. That's what the Students for Fair Admissions case showed us.
You're thinking that DEI is versus excellence? I think DEI is for excellence.
Got it. Show me one institution that got better the more it embraced DEI.
One institution that got better that embraced DEI?
That got smarter, more competitive, leaner, more productive, and that was better than it was 10 years ago. Are our airports more efficient? Are we landing planes better? Are our airlines better? Is our government better? Is our schools better? Is our universities better? Show me one example. Is our public health authorities better? Show me one institution that's embraced DEI that has become better, more excellent than it was 20 years ago.
None of them are becoming more better than they were 20 years ago. Whether they embrace DEI or not, they're all in the same position. This is a very interesting way he's going about it, because Republicans make it clear. They make it clear that our education system is not doing well. So why all of a sudden is he playing stupid as if DEI is the reason why our education system is not going well? It's been declining since the 20s, the 1920s, long before DEI ever came in. Long before DEI ever came in. Like, this dude, man. Man. All right, well, let's keep going.
It doesn't exist. DEI will destroy an institution from within.
Let me ask you another question. When COVID happened, they removed the SAT scores, yet the graduation rates for Harvard were still the same. Do you think
Facts.
that because of, sorry. With that being said, since ACT wasn't even considered, schools are accepting people with the potential to succeed. Because once you get in, you're still going off the same merit as everybody else.
A lot of people drop out that are, the problem with Harvard is that they now have professors, there's a ton of them that are saying they have to retake courses and remedial courses because these kids should never be here in the first place. And they happen to be a lot of black and Hispanic kids that were let in strictly because of the color of their skin. So I guess my question is,
Did you hear what she said though? The test scores, everything, nothing has changed. It's been the same. They haven't gotten better or worse. It's been the same. Like, the more people they let in, it's been the same. He flipped it and tried to say, well, professors are saying they have to do more remedial classes because these kids shouldn't even be let in the first place. But still, even if that's true, which I don't believe it is, but even if that is true, the scores are still the same. Hispanic and black students are not changing they're not changing anything. They're not making anything worse or better. It's remaining the same, which means that when Harvard teaches a child how to become, when somebody leaves Harvard, they are qualified, regardless of whether they're Hispanic, white, black, women, any woman, anything. It doesn't make a difference. Asian, they are all qualified. Straightforward.
do you care about the racial makeup of a college?
The racial makeup of a college?
Like, if a college was all white or all Asian, would that bother you?
No.
I think it would stop them from being able to see different perspectives and thus improve their systems and improve the quality of their own.
But why is diversity only skin color? Can't a bunch of white people also disagree?
Well, think of it this way.
For
If I like my mom went to the hospital or something, and let's say her English is good, but her Spanish isn't. Her Spanish is good, but the English not so much, right? It would help that if a person who is Hispanic or no Spanish would be the one helping her. She'd feel more comfortable with that person because she understands and relates.
I'm just curious to know, like, why nobody ever called us bluff? Like, can a bunch of white people come together and do this? Yep. Can there be a white university? Yeah, they can. Why do we ever call that bluff? Because it's all something like, he says race doesn't matter, but he brings up race a lot in response to race. Like, literally, it's strange. It's strange, but I'll be like, yeah, they can. Why not? Why not? As long as you're not excluding anybody from being able to get the same education, why not? Hell, we can separate on the dorms. We can have we can separate dorms and all kind of shit like that if that's what you guys want to do. But you can't deny us from going to the university. Straightforward. You can't deny us from going to certain places where you can get a better education because this university has been here a lot longer. That's the only fight black people are having. If you want to be separate, be separate. Nobody gives a fuck. Like, that's the part. Like, I'm like, why don't nobody answer him? Why nobody answered him like that? Nobody gives a fuck. Yeah, of course. You can have whatever you want.
Okay. I mean, yeah. You're in America. You should learn English. I don't know what to tell you, but
No, she is.
Good. I mean, I'm not trying to be insensitive or cruel.
English, but
yeah,
she would rather be with a Hispanic nurse versus one that doesn't, so she could speak comfortably. As
an organization, you must prioritize something. We think that excellence should be, we must have an uncompromising pursuit and commitment to excellence and not equity. And we believe the more that we embrace these this kind of culture of mediocrity, excellence will slip. And again, I could go through, at the core, DEI wants a lot of things, including racial quotas. Mm-hmm. We don't believe in racial quotas. Our best institutions would fall apart with racial quotas. Mm-hmm. We want excellence quotas, and the best and the ones that earned it to be able to get in those positions. Mm-hmm. Thank you for your good faith conversation.
He was fired just 3.
I really want to do some research on that. Like, is there really a such thing as racial quotas? I'm like extremely curious to know that, because like I haven't seen that anywhere. I'm curious to know where's some racial quotas. Shit, where I can get in. Anyways, y'all, I'm out. Peace.